You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Yours truly, Ron Kelly, the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Not on Facebook. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Not on Facebook tonight. We're on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube, and of course, it's blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show .com. Yeah, so we're not on Facebook for whatever reason. I'm not sure what it is. We'll get to that in just a minute. And also WBOK, 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. Shout out to them, and shout out to New Orleans, which was okay, let's see if we can get this together here. Okay, let me see what I got going here. Okay, it looks like we are live on Facebook. Let's see what I got going here. Oh, crap. Okay, it looks like we are live on Facebook. Let's see what I got going here. Crap. Okay, it looks like we are live on Facebook. Let's see what I got going here. Crap. Okay, it looks like we are live on Facebook. Let's see what I got going here. Okay, looks like. Okay, yeah, so we're not on Facebook. Looks like we're not on Facebook. Looks like looks like the stream is frozen for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. Anyway, everybody, welcome. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Okay, we're gonna delete that. Yeah, so it's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. We're on LinkedIn, and we're on YouTube. I'm getting a message that they're having trouble streaming to Facebook. I don't know if it's this issue with Facebook, but we'll get to that. Anyway, you can go on to LinkedIn, and you can go on to YouTube, and you can check the Ron Kelly Show out there. Okay. Okay, just a couple of minutes past, about 5 minutes past the hour. Let me see if I can get this thing going. I'll be back in just a minute with more Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. Okay, let's see here. All right, yeah. So we're not on Facebook, but we're on. Um, anyway, everybody, today is the 9th of April already, 2026. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Shout out to New Orleans. New Orleans, as a matter of fact, New Orleans, WBOK, 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans, was the fourth top food city. Was voted as fourth top food city by Food and Wine Global Tastemakers Awards, and yeah, and yes, so New Orleans is the fourth top food city, followed only by New York, Chicago, and LA. So shout out to people in New Orleans. I know they got some good food down there. I can't wait to get down there to check some of that food out down in the French Quarter. All the great food and stuff that they have down there in the French Quarter. So anyway, everybody, it's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. We are frozen on Facebook for some reason. I'm not sure why that keeps happening, but we're just probably going to, at some point, just remove the show from Facebook completely, because it's one thing after another with this Facebook nonsense. Anyway, everybody, it's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and yeah, got a lot going on. Did anybody? Oh, Africa Bambaataa passed away. Africa Bambaataa. You remember Africa Bambaataa? Planet Rock, Africa Bambaataa, who was instrumental in how music, in the music industry back in the 70s and 80s, who also was, I probably shouldn't bring this up, but who also was accused of sex abuse and all of this stuff. And I didn't even really know that until I started doing some research on him today. That Africa Bambaataa is Africa Bambaataa is I don't know, it keeps freezing. All right, we'll just keep going on with the program. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. So so Africa Bambaataa passed away. He was diagnosed with cancer a couple of years ago, and so he's gone. Africa Bambaataa, y'all remember him, Planet Rock and all this, the music that Africa Bambaataa was instrumental in how the music developed, black music, back in the 70s and 80s. So peace be upon Africa Bambaataa, who has passed away. Africa Bambaataa has passed away. So congratulations once again to New Orleans, the fourth top food city, voted by Food and Wine Global Tastemakers Awards, behind New York, Chicago, and LA. So shout out to the people down in New Orleans. I'll definitely be down there. I'll definitely be. I can't wait to get down there and sample some of the good food that they have down there. And I'll definitely be down there. In New Orleans. Can't wait to get down there and check them out. Can't wait to get down there and sample some of the good food that they have down there. And I'll definitely be down there in New Orleans. Can't wait. Yeah. So anyway, everybody, it's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. Go over to YouTube, The Ron Kelly Show, or you can go on LinkedIn, The Ron Kelly Show. Both are live there, YouTube and LinkedIn, but not on Facebook. I don't understand what's going on with that. The screen is frozen. I've done a lot of work on that. I've tried to get it straightened out, but it's just not happening. So we're just going to take the show off of Facebook. So it's on LinkedIn and it's on YouTube. I'll check back in with Facebook a little bit later on and see what's going on with that. So lots going on. The National Action Network conference was today. The National Action Network conference was today. We're going to talk about that. And did anybody understand Melania Trump? Did anybody understand Melania Trump announcement today, which was a complete flop? And the draft is coming back. And young men between the ages of 18 and 25 are going to be automatically registered for the draft. So it's not like the selective service where you got to come in and you have to fill out the paperwork and do whatever it is that you need to do. It's it's wow, it's just unbelievable that they're going to start doing that. It's wow, it's yeah. So yeah. Start doing that. It's wow, it's yeah. So yeah. Start doing that. It's wow. Yeah, so they're gonna start doing it. Anyway, we're on Facebook. I mean, we're on LinkedIn, and we're on YouTube. The Ron Kelly Talk Radio program for April 9th, 2026. So yeah, so the national. I watched a little bit of the National Action Network. Once again, shout out to my people down at WBOK 1230 AM in New Orleans. Shout out to them. Yeah, so you can go on to YouTube. All my peoples. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on Facebook. In just a minute, that you can go over to YouTube and go onto LinkedIn to see the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Not on Facebook. I have no idea. I've been working on it all week, trying to get things straight now, and it's still not straight. I can't control Facebook. So and we're not on Facebook today. We're on LinkedIn and we're on YouTube with the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. So we got a lot to talk about, plenty to talk about tonight. The National Action Network Conference. I watched a little bit of it today, and it's just 12 minutes past the hour, and it was just kind of crazy. I mean, we our people, black folks, and I talk a lot about black folks, and some people accuse me of hating our people and this, that, and the third, which I don't. But so what happened was, the National Action Network Conference started today. I think it's taking place in New York. And one of the panelists is Sylvia's granddaughter, Sylvia Woods. Sylvia, the famous restaurant in Harlem, which anybody who's running for anything, Clinton's been there, Obama, I don't know if George Bush went, but most of the people, Democrats, who are running for high office, make their way to Sylvia. Sylvia Woods was passed away, who was not today, she's been gone for a while. Sylvia Woods, who was the founder of the Sylvia's restaurant in Harlem, which I've been to, great food, cool people. And I've been to Red Rooster too. But yeah, so one of the panelists was Sylvia, Sylvia's granddaughter was one of the panelists. And I'm like, why? I mean, why? And see, and most of the people who were on the dais, most of the people who were on the panel were mostly people who were connected with religion. Reverends and stuff like that who were on there. No business leaders, no basketball players, no sports stars, and the people who are on the ground weren't there. The folks on the ground, were not there at Sylvia's. At the National Action Network conference. I'm not sure what the conference was all about anyway. I did watch some of it and I took some notes. But, the first question, because, Sylvia's granddaughter was there and some reverends, mostly reverends were there. Most of the people who had something to do with the National Action Network, office holders, board members of National Action Network, those are the people who were on there, And I'm like, the first question that the host, I don't know who he was. I've never heard of him. But the first question that the host asked was, what was life like growing up in Harlem? That was the first question. I'm like, really? That's the first question was, how did it feel like growing up in Harlem? And what does that have to do with the black experience in America? And what the heck does that have to do with anything? So we'll take a break. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to try to get us on Facebook. I'll take a break, and I'll come back with more of the program. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show. Yes. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
All right, everybody, it's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. So welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. April 9th, 2000, and April 9th, 2026. April 9th already. You know, so time is like flying by, everybody. All right, take another break. Take another quick break. Come back with more. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. And yeah, right now I'm on Facebook on another different platform, right here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. Help! Our Ron Kelly Show needs help. Anyway, everybody, it's just about 19 minutes past the hour. So, and once again, shout out to my people in New Orleans. Shout out to my handler down there, Charla. Charla, I hope all is well. Hope you're feeling better. Charla, who's a really sweet girl, lady, I should say, who handles the Ron Kelly Show down there in New Orleans. WBOK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans, they call it. Anyway, so I was on. We're in love with titles. You know, our people are in love with titles. And everybody, and just to remind everybody, you can go over to LinkedIn. If you're a member of LinkedIn, you can go over to YouTube, and you can watch the Ron Kelly Show or participate in the Ron Kelly Show over there. It's 22 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. So, you know, what do we eventually, this is a program note, eventually we'll just remove the show from the Ron Kelly Show. I'm trying to find a good angle because I'm using another way to broadcast the show on, another way to broadcast the show on LinkedIn, on Facebook. So, anyway, everybody, 22 minutes past the hour. So I'm watching the National Action Network conference, National Action Network, Reverend Al Sharpton, who heads up, he's the president of the National Action Network. And, man, what happened to the people on the ground? What happened to the people on the ground, the people who get their hands dirty, the people the people who hand out the flyers, the people who knock on doors, the people who, down in the dirt, like say in the neighborhood. What happened to those people? Why aren't any of those people allowed to speak at the National Action Network conference? And see, this is the problem that I had, because everything is about titles. It's all about titles. Ron Kelly Show is on Facebook right now. I'm using another way to be on Facebook, and so we are here. But now, man, we just seem like we just in love with titles. Everybody on the panel, because they had the dais, they had the panelists lined up across the stage, and everybody who was there, had a title. And see how we just love titles, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to people who are tuning into the Ron Kelly Show right now on Facebook. I'm using a different system other than StreamYard to broadcast the program. So it seems like we're in love with titles. You got to have a title in order to speak. You got to have something. And the people who are on the ground, the people who are the people who do the grunt work. Shout out to Clarence Anderson. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to you, Clarence Anderson. And what happened to those people? You see, because we put on shows. That's what we do. We put on shows. When there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I get it that you want to focus on the positive. I get that you want to focus on the positive stuff that's going on in the black community, which ain't a whole lot. But I get it that you want to, appreciate you, brother Clarence Anderson. Appreciate you for tuning in on my other system. Yeah, but we gotta stop being quiet. There's a lot going on in the black community. You see it, smash and grab robberies, and and bonnets and pajamas on the plane, and a lot of the especially the young girls, just the potty mouth. Don't want to get out the car when the police tell you to get out the car. Get out the car. There's nothing you can do. Like, if the police tell you something, you got to do it. Okay, Clarence, will do. When the police tell you to get out the car, you got to get out the car. Even if you don't think you should get out the car, even if you don't think that you were speeding, if they put you over and tell you were speeding, you just got to comply. White folks do it too, but we can't keep focusing on white people. So what, they do it? Oh, white people do it too. Oh, that makes it okay? No. It doesn't make it okay. And we gotta stop being quiet, and I get it that you want to focus on the positive, but we can't keep looking at the world like everything is somebody else's fault. I'm so sick of hearing about slavery. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about slavery. Willie Lynch, they programmed us, but that was hundreds of years ago. You mean to tell me that we still are stuck where we can't get out of it? Just unbelievable. And we want to 70-21. Yeah, and we just want, we gotta start looking at ourselves. Black folks have to start looking at ourselves. And I know some of y'all be getting on me. I've gotten some emails and I've gotten some DMs. People ask me, why you always talk about black people? Because I care about black people. And somebody has to, shout out to Tim Cameron, appreciate you, brother. And some of us, we have to just, we can't keep quiet. We can't keep making excuses for the stuff that we do. We can't keep making excuses for the stuff that we do. Shout out to everybody who's watching on Facebook. Yeah, I'm on Facebook Live because something's going on with Facebook. I'm not sure what it is. I thought I did everything they told me to do, and it's still looking crazy. Where we weren't able to go on Facebook through my normal streaming platform. But we're here. So we gotta stop making excuses for ourselves. Oh, well, it's slavery. Oh, well, it's this. Oh, well, it's that. Oh, it's the white man. We gotta be saying that stuff, 100 years from now when none of us will be around, we're still gonna be in the same position. So we gotta start taking a look at ourselves. And these organizations, National Action Network and Charles Barron and some of these other people. I mean, it ain't about that in-your-face stuff. That Jasmine Crockett. No, that stuff ain't working. That stuff is not working. You know what I'm saying? All that in-your-face. All that stuff is not working. And we got to start taking a look at ourselves. There's a new store for people who live in New Jersey. There's a store, I noticed it yesterday. The Hair Palace. Used to be a Rite Aid. Used to be the Rite Aid. See, that's another thing where the companies be hauling ass out of our neighborhoods. Used to be the Rite Aid. Now, it's going to be the Hair Palace. Now, can you imagine the Hair Palace? How big that store is going to be? Right on Central Avenue in East Orange, in a majority black neighborhood. So they're taking this Rite Aid. Rite Aid bailed years ago. Rite Aid bailed. The other place, the food place. I forget the name of it. It'll come to me. They bailed. In the black community, a lot of these stores, they're bailing. They're leaving. Walmarts and stuff like that. Why do you think they're leaving? They ain't leaving because, they just decided they don't want to be in black neighborhoods. No, they don't want to be in black neighborhoods because that's where they get the most trouble. The most stealing, the most, people walking in and walking out with stuff like they, these are the things that happen. That's why corporate America is bailing on the black community. So you got to travel to get to the CVS, which is right around the corner from my house because I don't live in a majority black neighborhood. And I love my people. Don't get me wrong. I love my people. But this stuff, is ridiculous. And that's why a lot of these companies are bailing. So they're going to put a right on Central Avenue and Evergreen Place on a corner. There used to be a Rite Aid. Now they make it into a hair care place because they know they're gonna make tons of money selling hair. So why is it so in the black community? Why? Why? I mean, come on. So Rite Aid leaves and they put a hair place there. A lot of these companies, these big companies, they don't want to put their businesses in black communities because they get robbed the most. I mean, come on, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. Oh yeah. Oh, you can't see me. Okay. Yeah, we gotta stop with that. We have to stop with that. Where these people are leaving because they want to leave because they don't want to do business in our communities. There was a Rite Aid on Broad Street in Newark. They bailed. They left. And a lot of these companies are leaving because of all the drama and the trouble that they're having that's coming from the black community. That's why a lot of these companies leave. And they go in white neighborhoods. Like I said, walking to CVS is right around the corner from my house. I live in Bloomfield, New Jersey, which is a mostly white neighborhood. And see, and it's not black people, it's N-words. That's what it is. Because most black people are hardworking, conscientious. You know, it's the ignorant Negroes that are ruining everything for regular black folks. It's the ignorant Negroes. Don't want to get out the car. You know, the police say get out the car. Get your ass out the car. What you gonna do? Tell them no? I know my rights. You know, you're gonna lose. Because they're gonna break your window and they're gonna drag you out of there. And yes, they do it to white people too. And yes, white people refuse to get out their cars too. But what white people do doesn't affect them, you know, as much as what we do affects us. Because people don't judge white folks by the sampling of white folks who do stuff. You know, white people don't get the thumbs down because of what they do. You know, their whole race doesn't get, you know, put down because of what they do. But black folks, shout out to Sheila Harrison. What's up, boo? I mean, Sheila. I ain't mean to call you boo. But she might have a man. But yeah. So this is the deal. I mean, we gotta stop with that. Oh, well, white people do it too. Oh, white people on welfare too. Oh, white people steal too. Yeah, okay, yeah, they do. But people don't look at white folks based on the bad things that they do. But the people look at black folks based on the bad stuff that we do. We're on outside with the bonnet. The bonnet, look, dressing like you dressing for bed to get on a plane. Don't want to listen. Police say get out the car, get out the car. They say pull over, pull out. Yes. Unbelievable. But anyway, see, this is the stuff these organizations, National Action Network and the Urban League, NAACP, which has been non-existent for years, which I don't, you know, I don't have no respect for the for these organizations, because they're not getting to the root cause of what's going on in the black community. They're not. Okay, I'm going to take a break. People who are, those of you who are on Facebook, you're not going to be able to see anything other than me. Lucky you. But we'll be back in just a minute with more of this program. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com. All right, everybody, we're back. This is Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. Don't you know, for 45 years, count them, just a few years before I was born, 45, for 45 years, American Port of View Transportation has been your source for safe, reliable transportation. School districts, private school transportation, meaning single child transportation. You name it, they can do it. School trips, casino trips, senior trips, family reunions, you name it, American Port of View can handle it. Give them a call, 908-753-6423, 908-753-6423. American Port of View Transportation is your source for safe and reliable transportation to and from your destination. And American Port of View Transportation is a sponsor of the Ron Kelly, I got ink on my hand, Talk Radio Show. Okay, shout out to Timothy Cameron that says, what about the term white guy? See, that's what we gotta stop doing. That's what we gotta stop doing. What about white collar crime? White people steal from white people. The white collar crime, they steal millions. They don't run up in the liquor store with a gun, and shoot people. White collar, and I'm not making an excuse for white collar crime, but white people take millions of dollars. They don't be nickel and diming and stealing from liquor stores or robbing the mailman or yoking up the Amazon delivery guy. The poor guy's making $20 an hour or whatever the case may be. It's white collar crime. Shout out to Victor Vines. Victor Vines, my brother. My brother. I can't say he's my brother. Anyway, shout out to Victor Vines. But see, that's the thing, Timothy Cameron. That's the thing. See, we look at white people. We look at white people and say, well, what about them? So we look at the white people on welfare. Oh, what about them? We look at the white people who, who do bad things. Well, what about them? What about the white people on welfare? What about the white people on WIC? What about the white people who commit crimes? Yeah, but white people rob white people. White collar crime, they steal millions of dollars. They don't be nickel and diming and, like we do. Rob the liquor store, rob the bodega, and then wind up killing somebody. Black people kill more black people than any other race in the world. Well, at least in America, black people kill more black people. Because the other races, they don't have to worry about each other. The Asians, the Jews, white folks. White folks don't cross the street when they see a couple of white folks. When they're walking toward a couple of white folks, they don't cross the street. But we do. Because we gotta wonder, like, one of these Negroes want to try to take what I got. So, but white people, if there's 3 white people and it's 1 white person and they're walking toward each other, that white person don't have to cross the street. Because they're not afraid of each other. But black folks, we are afraid of each other. We have to, well, maybe not necessarily afraid, but we have to worry about each other. Black folks have to worry about, when you see the 2 or 3 black boys coming down the street, I know I be thinking, like, okay, I'm strapped up, so somebody gonna get hurt. But white folks don't have to do that. Asians don't do that. Jews don't do that. They're not afraid of each other, but we are. We have to worry about each other. So all due respect to Timothy Cameron, I get it, that white collar crime, but so what? So what? That white people commit white collar crime. So what? How many of us get affected by white collar crime? I'll wait. How many black folks get affected by white collar crime? You know who gets affected by white collar crime? White people. Not us. So I'm not worried about white collar crime. Because, I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars and a lot of those people who get affected by white collar crime, they were greedy. That's why they got that show, American Greed. All of those people who get beat out of their life savings, they were greedy. So they asked for it, a lot of them, 20 minutes before the hour. So we got to stop with that. Jamil, shout out to Jamil. Yes, sir, Jamil. Yes, sir. But we got to stop pointing the fingers at other people. White people don't come outside with their bedclothes on unless they go in to get the daily newspaper. They're still on their property. We get on planes with that stuff on, bonnets and in your face. The women, our sisters, are like men. A lot of them, So we got to stop pointing the fingers at other people. We got to take a look at ourselves. It's 20 minutes before the hour. All right, take a quick break. Take one more quick break, and I'll be back. Because I want to talk about And I did say a little earlier about Africa Bambaataa. Peace be upon Africa Bambaataa, who was the man back in the day as far as music. So we'll talk about him, and we'll come back with a little bit. We'll come back in a little bit with more. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com and RonKellyShow.com. Not on Facebook. Well, yeah, I am on Facebook right now. LinkedIn, YouTube, and WBOK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. We're back in a moment with more to Ron. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Is the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program on WBOK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. So on Monday nights, the folks in New Orleans can sample the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. Monday night, 7 p.m. the Ron Kelly Show on WPOK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. I got to get down there because New Orleans was voted the 4th top food city in America, behind New York, Chicago, and LA. So I know they got some good food down there, down in the French Quarter. So always wanted to go to the Mardi Gras. Always wanted to go to the Mardi Gras. So I'm gonna check that out one day. But back to Timothy Cameron. We got to stop looking at what white folks do. Because white folks don't get trashed because of what they do, but we get trashed because of what we do. So we got to clean up our eye. Because nobody looks at white folks like they're all on welfare. They all steal. They all don't listen to the police. They all wear bonnets and bedclothes and they get on a plane. But people look at us like that. See, we're linked to that stuff. White folks are not linked to the stuff that they do. They are not. But we are. So we got to worry about ourselves. Okay. Did anybody watch Melania Trump today? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm like, what? I don't even remember. I don't even know what she said. I need an interpreter to listen to Melania Trump. Talking about Epstein. Trump was with Epstein. Thank you, brother. Yeah, Timothy Cameron says he loves New Orleans. Yeah, I gotta go down there, introduce myself to the people down there since my show does air on the radio station down there, WBOK 12:30 a.m. So I gotta get down there and do a live, maybe even the Essence Festival. Oh, I would love that, trust me. Plenty of women, black in your face, bombastic women. So the draft is coming back. Those of you who got kids 18 to 25, the draft is coming back. And I'm not talking about the NFL draft. I'm talking about the military draft, where kids 18 to 25 are going to be automatically put in. Not like the selective service where back in the day you had to go. I was too young for that. Back in the day you had to go and sign up. No, because the United States government has access to everything, and they know exactly how many people are between the ages of 18 and 25. So they're going to automatically put your kid on there, automatically. So those of you with kids between 18 and 25, they are going to hopefully, God forbid a war breaks out, they're going to be registering your child to go on to be in the armed forces. Because my thinking is that there won't be a ground war. It's going to be missiles. Everything is going to be destroyed. Hopefully not, but this is where we're at right now. So if you got a kid between 18 and 25, thankfully I don't. But if you got a kid between 18 and 25, they're going to be, and this is going to start happening in December of this year. So your kid is going to be drafted, be it a conscientious conscientious objector or not, your kid is going to be drafted into the selective service. And when they send a letter or email or however they're going to tell you to come and be a part of some nonsensical war, you're going to have to go. Which I know a lot of people are not going to let their kids go to war. So that's December, the draft, the automatic registration for all kids between 18 and 25. You think the United States of America don't know how many kids is between 18 and 25? You got another thing coming. Yeah. And I wonder if Barron Trump, who is between 18 and 25, Trump's son, who goes to NYU and gets followed around by an army of Secret Service agents while he's at school. I wonder if Barron Trump is going to be drafted. Barron Trump, the son of Donald and Melania. You see, because Trump, he weaseled his way out of Vietnam. He didn't go. He shouldn't even be telling nobody to go to war because he didn't go. He didn't go to war. He wasn't a conscientious objector. He just didn't go. He weaseled his way out, money. So I wonder if, rich, wealthy white folks, wealthy, powerful white folks, whether their kids are going to have to go if something happens. And, I wonder if their kids are going to have to go. Are they going to weasel their way out of it like Donald Trump did? Because I doubt very seriously that Trump is going to allow his son to be sent to war. And not just him, but other powerful politicians and CEOs and company presidents. And, they're not going to let their kids go to no damn war. And I bet you any amount of money that Trump is not going to allow Barron, his son, I think he's 19. I don't think he's 20 yet. I think he's around 19. He ain't going to let his son go to war. I don't think so. So yeah, so we gotta stop pointing fingers. We gotta stop pointing fingers. Oh well, they do it. Jimmy B. Cameron says, Jamil's HR. I'm not even sure. I know what Jamil. I hope that's him. Shout out to you, my brother. Now these kids have too many liberties. They will figure out a workaround. Well, it's not so much that the kids will figure it out. The parents are going to figure it out. I mean, yeah, I get it, what you're saying. But the parents are going to be the ones who are not going to allow their kids to go. Because this is the United States of America and money talks. Everything else, takes the bus. So they're not going to let their kids go to no damn war. No. Trump ain't going to let his son go to war. No. And somehow or another, they're going to skip over Trump, skip over his son, or if they register him, he's not going anywhere. I doubt it. See, because what happens in a lot of cases, I mean, in this latest war, not a lot of black folks died, but black folks, I got to look it up, the percentage of black folks who are in the armed forces. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of black folks in the armed forces because how else you going to get to college, GI Bill, pay, how else are the army is some black folks in particular get a lot out of being in the army. Black folks get a lot. You get to go to school, you get to travel all over the world, something that, white kids and wealthy white kids, they do that on spring break. Hey, my mother's going to send me to Paris. I'm going to London. I'm going to Rome. They get to go because their parents have the money to send them. But for the most part, unfortunately, the only way for black folks black young black young people to see the world is to, go in the armed forces. It's 9 minutes before the hour. So yeah, that's the only way for a lot of us. We gotta, gotta hitch a ride for the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. And who do you think they're gonna draft first? Because they know who's who, and they know who's who. They know which who's black and who's white. So who do you think they're gonna draft first? Who do you think? Do you think they're gonna draft a bunch of white people? No, no. They're gonna draft young black people first. They figure like, oh, they're gonna die anyway. They're gonna get shot or they're gonna be in jail. So we might as well put them to good use. So this is what's gonna happen. Black folks, young black men are gonna be the ones drafted first. Because nobody knows who's gonna be drafted first or what the draft order is gonna be. Nobody knows that. Only people that know that is the United States government. So I bet you that when this comes down, a lot of inner city young black men who they figure is going to die anyway, so they're like, he's going to get shot, he's going to go to prison, what the hell, you might as well, let's put him to good use. Let's put him in front of a bullet. So this is what's going to happen. Black folks are going to go first. Young black men are going to go first. So anyway, it's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. It's about 8 minutes, about 7 minutes before the hour. Not on Facebook. Well, I am on Facebook, but in a different day face. Maybe I'll start using this instead of StreamYard. And I'm also on LinkedIn. Shout out to the people on LinkedIn. Lots of Ron Kelly Show followers on LinkedIn. And YouTube. Still working on that. And shout out to my people down at WBOK 1230 AM in New Orleans. I will be on the morning show. We're putting it together now. The Front Porch is the morning show on WBOK 12:30 a.m. and Ron Kelly will storm New Orleans. Yeah. Now, Timothy Cameron says these kids have too many liberties. They will figure out a workaround. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you can expound on that, Timothy Cameron. But the wealthy kids, the Elon Musk, I don't know if he has any kids between 18 and 25, Bezos, some of these other people with immense wealth are probably not going to let their kids go to, or they'll be skipped over and nobody will ever know. They're not going to have a list. I'm sure they got a list of kids that they'll probably just skip over. They won't draft. If certain names come up, they're going to just skip over them. You see Barron Trump, skip over him. We can't let Trump's kid die. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and hundreds of thousands of millionaires and billionaires who live in the United States of America, they're just going to skip over their kids on second thought. Skip over them. They're not going to go anywhere. And who's going to know? Who's going to know that their kid has been skipped? Who's going to know that Trump's kid has been skipped over? Nobody's going to know. Or any other wealthy, generationally wealthy white person, who's going to know if their kid got skipped over or not? Nobody. Nobody's going to know. It's about 4.5 minutes before the hour. So, yeah. But again, to close, we gotta, I hope Vic, my tech down in New Orleans, I hope I didn't give you such a hard time. He's got a lot of editing to do with this show tonight. He's got a lot of editing to do. But yeah, you know, we got to stop pointing the fingers. Got to stop pointing the fingers. You know, we got to handle our business. We the people, we got to get over before we go under. Remember James Brown? We the people, we got to get over before we go under. James Brown. That was from one of his songs. You know. And we got to stop looking at other people. We can't judge ourselves by white people, you know, economically are ahead of us. We're not even close to where they are, most of us. So we can't compare ourselves to them. Because they got the upper hand. We don't. We can't compare ourselves to white folks. They got the upper hand. They in control of everything. We don't control the banking system. We don't control law enforcement. The stock market. You know, the political arena. We don't control that. We'll probably never control it. But we can do our best to put ourselves in the best light. We can do our best to put ourselves in the best light. So we got to stop looking at other people. Look at the white people. They do it too. They're on welfare too. So what? Because white people don't get judged by the bad things that they do. They don't get judged as bad as we do. Because white people don't look at every other white person and say, oh, he's a thief, oh, he's a killer. No. But we do that. We get judged by everything that we do, even though all of us don't do it. We get judged by everything we do. You know. I've never been to jail a day in my life. I don't even have a criminal record. But I bet you, you know, sometimes I get on the elevator in my building. I remember one time I was working in New York. I got on the elevator, this old white lady, and she started hunching up her pocketbook, like clutching, you know, because I could see that she started like clutching her pocketbook. I'm working. I was like maybe 20, 21. I used to work in New York. And the lady started clutching her purse. And I probably had more money than she did. But she started clutching her purse. This old white lady. I'll never forget that. Happened 30 years ago. I'll never forget that. And she was afraid of me. See, but, you know, I get on the elevator with a white person. I'm not afraid at all. But that lady was afraid of me. You see, so what other black men have done affected me and how that lady looked at me. From what other black men have done. But white people don't get looked at. Yeah, we had the Jeffrey Dahmer that was eating people and some of the worst people. You know, the man that was raping boys and burying them. And white people have committed some of the most heinous crimes in history. But nobody looks at them like, you know, and connect them to that. But they do that to us. So we have to clean up our own act. Anyway, everybody, I'm out of here. It's about 8 seconds before the hour. See you back here next week for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. Shout out to my people at WBOK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. Thank you all for watching, listening, perusing, criticizing. And as I like to say, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And that we may not have it all together, ladies and gentlemen, but together we can definitely have it all. Thank you so much. I'm out of here.